Good morning. This is Overheard Overnight. Good morning. And it is Monday, April the 8th, 2024. Where has the time gone? Thanks for joining me again this morning as we talk about something that is close to many of us, and that is mental health. In my case, am I going crazy? You know, I'm that guy who years ago would have said to you that mental health isn't serious. It's something that really affects other people, never going to affect me. And I would take it very casually, not very seriously at all. And in our family, we certainly never wanted to talk about it. Well, 2022 hit pretty hard last year. And, in my case, up to that point, I felt I didn't have any mental health issues. Even with life's challenges, I was able to cope, able to get through them, press on. Don't let them see you sweat. All of the cliches that you have could possibly think of. I would babble out and babble on about in terms of dealing with, my mental health issues, which when I look back now, obviously there were some. I told a great story, and the story was that I was able to cope. And the smiling face, I got that, and I get that, and I still will continue to get that. The smiling face, it definitely does hide many of the things that go on underneath. You know, it's like the duck on the pond. On the surface, looks absolutely calm and smooth and sleek, and you look below, you see the feet paddling. That's me, probably most of us. As I mentioned, life hit hard in 2022. Going into 2023 got worse. And for me, the real issue around my mental health and my ability to understand, identify first, accept as well, accept that there are issues, occurred around August of last year. And that was around the time we had Sally's Celebration of Life event. Beautiful event, well attended. People came that I hadn't seen in years, and family from the States showed up. Basically, we had a very moving afternoon of celebrating Sally's life. Unfortunately for me, though, it didn't end that way. I came out of that feeling down, disillusioned. Now, everybody goes down, right? Everybody gets down. And that's what I used to call it. Just I'm down for a little bit. Couldn't shake this one. Got through September and getting into September and realizing that, there was a spiral happening. I was going down and it just wasn't getting any better. Add to that some work-related stress that just I couldn't cope with very well anymore. Small things, just little tiny things would irritate me. And that, no, listen, I can wind it up like the best of us, but that was a telling one for me that I just couldn't cope with the small things in life that we're all supposed to be able to cope with, right? When you're normal, when everything's working, when you're not crazy. Well, I couldn't do it. And after a few visits to my family doctor, we talked about some options. And one of them, of course, was just to continue going along, keep doing what you're doing. Done it before. Hey, it's worked before. Why not continue? The scary one, though, was to actually admit that I had an issue, had some mental health challenges to cope with, and to take some time off work. I had never done it. And that was probably the one that caused me the most anxiety. So when I added it up, right, I'm stressed out, I'm anxious, and I'm getting down, depressed. Putting it all together, decided to take 3 months off back in October of last year. It was mind blowing for me what that experience was all about. Um, Now, there are roadmaps, of course, right, for how to cope with, how to deal with mental health issues. And typical me, of course, I followed some, jumped on many, came in and out of a lot of different things. But in the end, broadly speaking, I followed a fairly comprehensive and guided approach to dealing with it. And I'll share some of those things with you. Um, I've come through it, though. I'm here today to say to you that I've come through it a humbled person. I've learned a lot, chastened, but definitely humbled by the process. And it's something that I have to work on day to day. Mental health for me is like my physical health. I've got to work at it every day. I run every day. So, hey, I'm going to work on my mental health every day. So some of the things that I worked on and some of the things that I observed, and maybe some of the learnings too. So if you're taking notes, there are 7 little things here that I've put together from my experience through the mental health journey. I mentioned one already. Mental health plus physical health equals emotional health. That's how it works for me. I work on it every day. It's a constant battle. Some days to pick up, to get up, to keep going. Some days ever perfect, but some days can be more challenging than others. I did counseling. I went to individual counseling, tried that. That was very good. Did it virtually. Actually, I preferred that. And did some grief counseling in a group situation with a group in Toronto called Gilda's Club, which is highly recommended for those of us who are going through any kind of challenges with mental health. So I had some opportunity to talk to like-minded people and had some one-on-ones. And in the process, learned, hey, Chris, the stigma of mental health, wipe that one off, get that one off, check it off the box, it's gone. I don't really think about it as a stigma much anymore. A big one is to just keep talking. Now, that's both good and bad because along the way, there are people that you've met in your life who will continue to stay with you as you go through challenges. Some people will fall away. You will meet new people. I certainly went through all of the above, but I've kept talking about it to the point where it can become annoying. Not that I ever am, of course. I did something that was a little different as well, and see if I can show it to you here on the screen this morning. It's I've never done this before, but I did tattoos. Don't know if you can see this one, but trying to get in there. That's the dolphin. I've got the dolphin on that arm, and I've got the bison on this one. And I'm not going to get it right. Anyway, those two work for me to just be a touchstone each day, a reminder of what those spirit animals stand for. And when I bring those two together, it brings me down, calms me down, if you will. A big one for me is that I've now started to say no much more often than I used to. You talk to me and ask me 10 different things in a week, probably going to get to 7 or 8 no's. I don't want to do that. I say, no, I can't do that. No, but I don't give a lot of excuses. I don't make up a lot of excuses anymore, which is also a big part of what I used to do in the past, don't do much of anymore. It's all about me. Right? My mental health is all about me. And if I don't solve that one, if I don't take care of myself by looking after me, then, the rest of it doesn't work. Number 6 for me was a big new one. Hadn't done much of that in the past. Do it every day now. It's journaling. And the traditional approach, of course, is to try to dive into some of the issues you're facing and also add to it the gratitude issues that you faced, or the gratitude for things and people and experiences that you've had. I'm a little bit of on the stoic side, so I'm in that world that says, hey, a problem has happened, I can't change it, but how do I react to it? And certainly the journaling has allowed me to really write that down. Journaling is for me. I don't share it with anybody, and other than what you're seeing here today, I don't share anything that I write down about it. Okay, so that's a big one for me. But the big one, though, the number 7 one on my list, it should be number 1, is that somehow through all this process, I came up with a mental health daily toolkit. And in it will be everything like, did I go running today? Did I do something special for myself today? How did I act today? Actions, not words sometimes. Let's just perform. Let's just do versus talking about stuff. That's actually a very big one. I talk about things like I do yoga now, of all things. Yeah, me, I'm stretching and doing yoga. That was introduced to me, by the way, by a very special person back in Vacation in the Grill last December. Still doing it. Love it. So those are my kind of things that I do that keep me going, have got me through this mental health challenge. They're things that I continue to stay vigilant on. Be present to what your current experience is. If you can manage to do just that one probably will get you through most of what else is going on. So anyway, thanks for listening this morning. I'm going to wrap up by answering the question that I asked at the beginning. Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy, but I certainly know how to get there quickly. Now, before I go, I just want to thank you all for your comments last week after Overheard Overnight got back on with this approach. And lots of comments on Facebook and YouTube. Really appreciate that very much. Try to get back to all of you. And if you find any of this interesting whatsoever, please leave a comment here on YouTube. And if you find it just a bit of babble, also let me know that as well. There's no bad here. There is just us having a conversation and a discussion. So wrap it up by saying to you, thanks for listening. Until next time.